Welcome to Hilary Emmanuel Ministries, where faith meets power, purity and prosperity, and breakthroughs are born. At Diadem, we equip you with bold prayers, life-transforming teachings, and spiritual strategies to overcome every challenge life throws your way. Join us as we dive into God's Word, experience His presence like never before, and walk in His purpose for our lives. If you're in London, we invite you to fellowship with us in person at Diadem, 4 Pegamoid Road, N18 2NG. Don't forget to subscribe now and let's grow in faith together.
We thank the Lord for what He did here on Friday night. If you remember, brethren, on Friday night, we fought for our destinies. We fought for our destinies. We fought against the destiny destroyers. And the operations of destiny destroyers are multifaceted. Sometimes they are out to kill, just to kill that destiny, destroy it completely. At other times, they want to divert the destiny so that they can cause delays and blockages. And at other times, what they want to do is to create suffering, unbearable suffering for destinies, so that from one pain to another pain, and that destiny will just be languishing in that pain and suffering. And another thing again they do to destinies is to rob destinies, to steal from destinies. I touched that briefly that Friday night, and I told you what some young people are doing in some countries now, going into serious occultism, going into very serious spirituality, sorcery, whereby they break into people's lives. They pretend to be friends. They lure people into their traps, and they break into their destinies and rob them heavily. Rob them heavily. You know, there was this particular person that was saying, and unfortunately, churches are not that strong anymore. The only hope for the such victims is the church. But where will you get a church that will be able to deliver people from such problems? There was this case where the young lady came and said that somebody met her online and was promising her everything, gave her money, lured her, and then met with her, and after meeting with her, she passed out 2 eggs, and the boy collected those 2 eggs. That's her destiny. That's her virtue. She's not forever. She's gone. It will take a real person that has understanding to deliver her. Others, they will mess them up like that. All that will be coming out of their body is maggots. These are terrible things happening these days. Terrible things. And people's destiny are being stolen. They are being broken into, vandalized. So whatsoever you are doing, guide your destiny. Protect your destiny. Protect the destiny of your children. Fight for your destiny. Because people are now getting so deep into the level of spirituality we've not seen before. It's not just the issue of maybe science is advancing, people are having new breakthrough in science. No, spiritually, people are breaking through also spiritually. There are new grounds people are breaking into spiritually in the negative aspect. And human beings, innocent people are the victims. They are the victims. So that's why today, brethren, we are still going to fight for our destinies. And that's why I'm talking to you about what I call fighting for your financial multiplication. Fighting for your financial multiplication. I want you to listen carefully and understand this message. Our destinies are productive. That's how God created man. Not only man, even plants, even trees, even animals. God created us productive. To multiply, to increase. That's our natural form. That's how God made us naturally. And at different stages, is the destiny that creates those production. Is the destiny. There's something already God has put inside us that create all those things. That create wealth, that create multiplication, that create prosperity, that create riches, that generate a lot of things. But the enemies will always want to destroy those things. They cannot steal them, They want to block them. They want to destroy them. They want to damage them. They want to do a lot of things. When God created man, he created man to multiply naturally. He created our destinies to generate and create wealth naturally. Look at Genesis chapter 1. Genesis chapter 1, look at verse 26. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created him, male and female created he them. And God blessed them. And God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply. Do you see that? So from the very beginning, God programmed multiplication into our lives. He programmed fruitfulness into our lives. He said, and replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowls of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree which is the fruit of the tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. And to every beast of the air, to every fowl of the air, to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat. And it was so. Verse 31. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. So as far back as the very beginning, God ordained us to multiply. To multiply in everything we do. To multiply in everything we touch. To multiply in our businesses. To multiply in career, in finance, in prosperity. To multiply. And this is why you will take only one seed of a corn and put that seed of a corn in the ground. Come back a few months later and you will carry so many corns home. That's multiplication. That's why you take only one seed of mango or orange and put it in the ground. Come back a few months later and you will harvest loads of oranges and mangoes. That's the multiplication. And brethren, that is how it's supposed to be in everything we do, in every area of our lives, especially in our finances. In our finances. And the Lord did not stop there. The Lord, he went further to arrange a continual flow of income, continual flow of wealth, of fruitfulness, because that is what leads to prosperity. Do you understand what I'm saying? Any income that flows and stops for a while and doesn't flow again until after a while it flows again and stops, does not lead to prosperity. The income that causes wealth and riches, great wealth, is the one that flows continually, non-stop. There's always something coming in. And that is how God arranged it for his own people. I hope you are understanding what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this. Assuming today, 100 pounds comes into your hand. Before you will finish spending that 100 pounds, 200 has come in. While you have not finished spending the 100 and the 200, another 1,000 has come in. While you have not finished spending that one, another 2,000 has come in. That's what leads to wealth. That's what leads to prosperity. But whereby 500 pounds or 1,000 pounds comes in and stops, and nothing else comes in until that one finishes, before another one will come in, that person is not going anywhere. Are you following me? So God arranged it in such a way. Sometimes the enemy, when the enemy steps in, 100 pounds will come in. You will finish that 100 pounds. And then nothing comes in yet. You have to go and borrow to survive. And then when the next 100 will come in, you pay 50 out of it first. For the one you borrowed, you are short now. And then it will not be enough if 100 was not enough. So you are now struggling with only 50. Before that 50 will finish and before another one will come in, you have now gone into debt of 100. When the next 100 comes in, you use it to balance, you are empty-handed. Do you see the problem? Now look at how God arranged it. Leviticus 26. Leviticus 26. Look at verse 1. Leviticus 26 verse 1, he says, Ye shall make you no idol. Are you following me, brethren? Because some of this is idol at the root. I told you this before. That where there is idol, idol swallows wealth. That's number one target of idols. Do you know that Solomon, they will tell you that Solomon was the richest person on earth. Do you know that immediately Solomon went into idolatry, those idols swallowed all the wealth of Solomon? Everything disappeared. Solomon had to be taxing the whole of Israel heavily, to the point that when he died, the people were already in pain because of tax. And they came to beg his son Rehoboam, say, please reduce our tax. And Rehoboam refused, which led to the country to split into two. Tax. How did such wealth disappear? Idols will swallow any volume of wealth. It doesn't matter. Gather the whole money on this earth together, idol will swallow everything. So the Lord was warning them. He said, don't have anything to do with idol, whether it's the idol of the heart. I've taught you about that one. Because you might be scared to say, I don't have any idol I'm worshiping. But the Bible talks about idol of the heart. He said, don't have any idol, no graven image, neither rear you up a standing image, neither shall you set up any image of stone in your land to bow down unto it. For I am the Lord your God. Verse 2. Ye shall keep my Sabbaths. He said, don't joke with my son, don't joke with coming to my house. Because it's easy for us to say, shift came out, I have to work, I have to do this, I'm so busy. And we begin to defy the Sabbath of God. These are the things that cause trouble for finances. He said, don't joke with my Sabbath and reverence my sanctuary. I am the Lord. Verse 3, if you walk in all these things I'm telling you, if you obey all these things, all my statutes, and keep my commandments and do them, look at the result. Look at the result, verse 4. Then will I give you rain in due season. Why due season? Why due season? Because rain might be falling, but it might be falling at the wrong time when you don't need it. Coming to your hand, coming in a way that he said, I will give it exactly when it will be profitable unto you. And when you talk about rain, you are talking about prosperity, blessings. And the land, look at it now, the land shall yield her increase. That's the multiplication we are talking about. And the trees of the field shall yield their fruit. Verse 5. Look at the result now. Look at the arrangement of God. He said, if things go well, and there's no interruption anywhere, he said, this is what is going to begin to happen. And your threshing, you know what you mean by threshing? Where you harvest all the things to harvest, to remove the seed. He said, your threshing shall reach unto the vintage. Which means, you will be harvesting and be gathering the whole one you planted before, and you start planting new ones. And ye shall eat your bread to the full, and dwell in your land safely. And I will give peace in the land, and ye shall lie down, and none shall make you afraid. And I will rid evil beasts out of the land, neither shall the sword go through your land. Because these are the things that steal multiplication. Where there is war, brethren, is anybody talking of prosperity in the country again? No, everybody turn. The rest turn to refugee. The time when the one of Ukraine broke out, do you know who is who anymore? Became equal. That's what the sword does. It steals. The enemy uses it to steal, to rob people of prosperity, of wealth and riches. Do you know sickness, brethren? Sickness is a robber. If somebody is sick, you can't go to work, you can't do business, you can't do anything. So these are the robbers of prosperity. The Lord is saying, I will take all those things away. Verse 9. For I will have respect unto you and make you fruitful and multiply. Do you see that multiplication I'm talking about? Establish my covenant with you. Look at how it's going to multiply you. Look at the secret of multiplication in verse 10. He said, and ye shall eat the, which means the one you harvested before. You are still eating it, you are still finished, your store is still filled with it. So while you are still eating the old store, you will be doing what? You will be bringing forth the old store because you have new harvest. No place to store it. You begin to remove the old store, bring them out so that you can store new ones. Do you know what that translates to in our time? The money that came into your account will still be there. You have not touched those ones yet. More will come in. More as you are still dealing how to move the money to different compartments. New ones are coming in. That's what the Lord is saying here. And this one leads to prosperity. Even if it is salary you are earning, the salary you earned last month, you've done everything you have to do. The money is still left there, you've not finished spending it. New ones will come in. Verse 11. And I will set my tabernacle among you. He said, my presence will have to be with you for this type of thing to happen. I have to be in your life. My tabernacle has to be in your house. I have to be constantly with you for you to be able to enjoy this type of a thing. And my soul shall not abhor you. Verse 12. And I will walk among you, and I will be your God, and ye shall be my people. Do you see relationship? So you have to have a relationship with me to enjoy this. It's not for everybody. Not for everybody. Verse 14. He said, but in case you say that I cannot do all those things, you will not hearken unto me, and will not do all these my commandments. And if ye shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgment, so that you will not do all my commandments, but that ye break my covenant. Verse 20. He said, in case that happens, look at the result of that one, and your strength shall be spent in vain. Do you know what it means to spend strength in vain? That is, the person will labor from first of the month to the last of the month in vain. Laboring and toiling in vain. The person will go carry seed, go and labor, plant everything, no multiplication. That's laboring in vain. No multiplication, no increase. When that kind of a thing begins to happen in somebody's life, that nothing is enough, you finish the old one, you are looking everywhere, nothing is coming in, it's a curse actually. That's what the Lord is saying here. It's a curse that follows disobedience. Do you know how destinies generate wealth? Do you know how destinies make money? Look at it in James chapter 4. James chapter 4 verse 30. He said, go to now, ye that say, today or tomorrow we will go into such a city and continue there a year and buy and sell and get gain. This is how destinies generate money. We bring the idea to your head. We lead you to the location. We tell you what to do. And destiny will give you the time frame. You say, just 1 year. And you start doing it. And you get gain. And you prosper. That's the work of destiny. Where destiny is functioning very well. Without attack. Do you see this destiny I just showed you now? He said, I will go to that city. Pick the city. I will go to that city. And this is what I'm going to do there. I will buy. I will sell. And I will get gain. Now, but what if that destiny is under attack? What if that destiny is not free? What if that destiny has enemies? Look at how the Lord put it. Look at how the Lord described it. In Luke chapter 10. Because I told you, there is a fierce contention for the multiplication of destinies. Serious contention. Luke chapter 10 verse 30. And Judas answering said, Jesus. And Jesus answering said, a certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho. You know that destiny, James said, I will go to so city and I will buy and sell and make gain. So this destiny decided to go to Jericho from Jerusalem to go and do the same. So he went down from Jerusalem to Jericho, and then what happened on the way? He fell among thieves. Fell among thieves. This is the battle we have in our hands. Thieves that are following us up and down in the dream. In the physical, they snatch your bag in the dream, they pursue, they collect your money, they use gun on you in the dream. All those are thieves. And they departed, leaving him half dead. Do you see now that multiplication is impossible? Because he has been attacked. And this is the condition of so many destinies. Many destinies have fallen among thieves, and they have been wounded badly. Most of these things happen spiritually, and that's why we don't know about them. Sometimes we have dreams, but we just wave them off and just continue, not knowing the implication. Not knowing the implication. Look at Genesis 26. Genesis 26, look at verse 1. And there was a famine in the land, beside the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went, go not and kept my charge, my commandment, my statutes, and my laws. And Isaac obeyed, and he dwelt in Gerar. He dwelt in Gerar. Verse 12. Verse 12. Then Isaac sowed in that land. Do you know the mysteries of all these things? The mystery is that God appeared to him. God didn't drop any bag of money with him when going. Because one would have expected that, well, God, since you have come, is there anything for your boy? This one bag of money. Say, Isaac, hold this one first. Before you finish, I will come back again. But he didn't drop anything. Just promise it. It's not the same promise he has been giving you in your dream. This was a dream. And Isaac woke up. Isaac went to the field and started to plant. That's destiny. Why? Because God does not need to do anything new. He has done it when he created Adam and Eve. He has put the fruitfulness and multiplication inside man already. All he needs to do for you personally is to cut off all the attacks. Cut off all the attacks and live your destiny. It will multiply by itself. It will prosper by itself naturally. Because it's inside you already. If you take away all the disturbances and all the troubles of the enemy, you will prosper. So that's what he did. He just told Isaac, he said, stay here, I'm with you. And then Isaac just planted normally, like every other person. He was not the only person. The Philistines also planted their own. And the Bible says he received in the same year an 100-fold. And the Lord, verse 13, and the man, look at the consequence now. The man was great and went forward and grew until he became very great. The destiny was just multiplying, multiplying, multiplying. Verse 14. For he had possession of flocks and possession of herds and great store of servants, and the Philistines envied him. Now look at verse 15, very, very significant. For all the wells of waters, which his father's servant had digged in the days of Abraham his father, the Philistines had stopped them and filled them with sand, with the earth. That is very significant. Those days there was no tap water. They dig well, they collect water from there for themselves to drink, for the animal, for irrigation and for everything. And that well of water stands for prosperity. Just like if you see yourself in the dream now, and you see a tap of water flowing, open and flowing, the Lord is telling you that a tap of well has been opened unto you. But if you are seeing a tap that no water is dropping, maybe you tried and nothing came out of the tap, the Lord is telling you the enemies have locked up finances. Did you see what the enemies did here? Isaac was just alone with his servants. They would have driven him away and taken the well. But they didn't do that. They filled the well with sand. They blocked it. That's what the enemies do these days. They block every tap of wealth and riches and prosperity. They block it so that nothing will come out of it. That's where the battle comes in. That's why I told you that today we are fighting for our multiplication, for our financial multiplication. So they filled it with the earth, with the sand, verse 16. And Abimelech said unto Isaac, go away from us, for you are mightier than. And Isaac's servant digged in the valley and found there a well of springing water. Do you see one thing with Isaac? Everywhere he will dig, water will come out. When the Philistines dig, nothing will come out. And look at their reaction. Verse 20. And the headmen of Gerar, they strive, they came and struggle for the well. Isaac heard them say, the water is ours. And he called the name of it Esek, because they strove with him and they collected that one. And they dig yet another well and strove for that also. So they are not hurting Isaac, they are not attacking him, they are not stealing his animal, they are not harvesting his crops. All they after is the well. Everywhere he will. So prosperity starts from the spiritual realm, and it's like turning on the tap of water, which was represented by the well of water in those days. And it will just keep pouring, which is the same thing the Lord was telling us about harvesting. While you are gathering those ones in, new ones are ready again. So that's like the tap of water flowing continually. Wealth coming into your hand continually. Not the well that comes occasionally. Occasionally comes now, it doesn't come again for a long time. You are owing people, but nobody is owing you. Do you notice something like that? Sometimes you check here everywhere whether there's anybody owing you that you go and collect money from. Nobody is owing you. And you check how many people you are owing. You discover you are owing a lot of people. That's what leads to poverty. They're owing you too. So that you too will be sending out. That's what leads to prosperity. Just like when you put on your tap, the water keeps flowing except you stop it. That's how money should be coming into your hand. And it will be like that. Amen. The Lord will cause it to be like that. And all the more power struggling with you over your finances, the power of God will cut them off today. We're going to close for financial increase. First of all, we are going to cry unto the Lord and say, my Father, where I did not obey your words and I broke your covenant.
Thank you for watching. If this message blessed you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to join our growing community of faith. You've just listened to the sermon, but there are powerful prayers that follow. Due to social media rules and guidelines, the prayers have been removed from this video. However, you can access the full prayers and more life-changing resources by visiting www.pastorhillary.org or downloading our app, Diadem Media. If you're in the London area, we'd love to have you fellowship with us in person at 4 Pegamoid Road, N18 2NG. If you have any questions about this message, want counseling from Pastor Hillary, or wish to share your testimonies following the prayers, please leave a comment below and someone from our team will get in touch. Until next time, may God bless you abundantly and guide you in all your ways. Stay victorious.